what's your S&P rating? I was like, sorry? But that's the reality of TradFi. And they're not trading on their own balance sheets, right? They're utilizing these great balance sheets we have across the world in TradFi. And, sorry everyone who's a crypto native out there, that's the banks, all right? They're really good lenders, and they're really well-trusted lenders. It doesn't mean we have to use the same archaic rails, T+2 settlement, blah, 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 all of that good stuff. It means we can be using, central bank programmable digital money. We can be using stablecoins. They can do that, but they can provide you leverage, but they can provide you credit. And this is the only way we're going to grow this asset class, is if we adopt this type of market structure.
Well, until we get to that point, though, events like 1010 of last year have happened, may happen again. And the effects of that are still being felt, right, in crypto prices when you look across the board, really. What does something like 1010 do for sort of conversations that you have with institutions?
Am I familiar with 1010?
October 10, the sort of flash crash that happened.
Oh, yeah.
What does something like that do?
I think one thing I would say in defense of crypto, and I stand here as a big believer in the future of modern markets, a big believer in the fact that blockchain adoption, programmable digital money is going to accelerate and promote modern capital markets the same way that electronification did, right? I'd say that in defense of it, Bitcoin itself, 60%, 65% of the market cap of crypto, is amazingly resilient, robust. None of you out there who are investors, traders, portfolio managers should be particularly bothered about the liquidity or the resilience of that asset class. It's now well established, right? Even old, if we think about it. White paper was 2008, everyone, 18 years ago, right? So it's as established. Everyone thinks the internet happened around the 2000s. Actually, it was established in 1965. So it's going to take 20 or 30 years for this to become well established and part of it. So I think Bitcoin is robust. I think what happens is how many altcoins are there? The bottom 500 drop off. It's a good thing. Just like .com, it's a really good thing. Let's shake it out. Let's have market efficiency. It's what we do, by the way, everyone in this room, and what we've done for decades is that, we find the weakness, and it's survival of the fittest, and the best projects, the best institutions will prevail. So, look, you're going to have more of this, but then again, who are we in TradFi to criticize digital assets? I don't know if you remember, but during COVID, they paid you to buy all, right? Has anyone looked at the gold price recently? Certainly for us, gold traditionally has been 5 to 6% of all our volumes. Q1, all driven by actors in Washington, D.C. 35% of our volumes were in precious metals, right? So 1010, for me, the reason I probably wasn't familiar with was it sort of pales into insignificance compared to Brexit, compared to 2008.
Everything pales in significance,
right? Compared to SNB. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to ask one more question before we turn it over to the audience. And if you're watching online, please send them in, and I can ask David questions. And also in the live audience, we'll have microphones as well. You mentioned earlier at the beginning this sort of convergence of, and you believe that this will hit sort of 30 trillion or a huge amount, in the market value. As we bring stablecoins, real-world assets, everything together, what are the risks that you see of this convergence?
The risks of this convergence, to be honest, I'm always the optimist, so I see only opportunity. I think there's risks in getting there, right? I think the risks of getting there are that turkeys don't vote for Christmas. Right? And you're seeing this at the moment, that everyone is entrenched in their position, almost like they don't want to move. They don't want to accept that there's good things in TradFi.